Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Danelis, and before I start this video, let me tell you guys something. So this morning was like 70 degrees, so it wasn't as hot. And I'm like, okay, let me go change my outfit because I was wearing like a tank top or whatever, and I was like, it's kind of cold, it's windy, it was cloudy. So I changed my outfit. I put on some jeans, I put on this crop top. It's like it is long sleeve. And now the sun wants to come out and it wants to be extremely hot, and I'm at the park and I'm just like, all right, great. So yeah, I'm so hot right now, but I'm still gonna make this video for you guys, and I'm still gonna sit out here because the sun is very beneficial. It gives me so much energy. But yeah, so let's get started with this video. I have been doing a lot of thinking with myself within like the past hour, and I'm just like, damn, like who am I right now? Like I changed so much. I've changed so much since I've started working on myself, since I started getting into spirituality, becoming more aware. Like I've changed so much, and not just in the years that I've been practicing spirituality, but even in the past 6 months. Like I've changed, I've changed as far as who I give my energy to, who I respond to, how I respond, what I do with myself, what I surround myself with. So I've just been like on a roll, okay? But I started kind of thinking about my whole spiritual journey in general, and I kind of want to share with you guys my spiritual journey and how it kind of started. So my first spiritual awakening happened in 2019, and the reason that I say first is because a lot of us may not. Hold on, I think a train is coming. Probably not. All right, so the reason that I say first is because we go through multiple spiritual awakenings in our life, and a lot of us do not know this when we start spirituality, or we want to start a spiritual journey, or when we start getting informations and downloads from the universe. So in 2019, it was October 2019, so pretty much like 2019 2020 is when I started to experience a lot of changes in my inner world. So I started noticing things about myself that typically I would ignore, but I started kind of paying attention to it and wanted to make those changes for myself. And one of the biggest things for me during that time was my health. It was my health, okay? I was somebody who ate so much junk food every day, like microwave stuff, just processed foods, fast food, all of that. Like I was just so unhealthy with myself, and I knew that I didn't want to be that person. Like I knew that eating that stuff was only harming me more and more, and I was gaining a lot of weight. And it wasn't that I was like super fat. I definitely was overweight, but it wasn't about how fat I was. It was about how fast I was getting into that weight. So from like 2018 to 2019, I had gained 30 pounds, right? Not 2019, 2017 to 2018, or like 2019-ish, I had gained 30 pounds, right? And so that's not like healthy. That's not good. So yeah, like my clothes, like they just started ripping. Like it was just a mess. So I wasn't taking care of myself in the way that I should have. But I got into a relationship with somebody who, we were really serious. We were really committed to just, we're the same people, honestly. And, I expressed like what I didn't like about myself, what I wanted to change about myself. And I had such a supportive partner at that time. And I'm so grateful that I had this person in my life during that time, because she's actually someone who motivated me to do a lot, even finishing school. Like I didn't want to finish high school, and she was there and she pushed me. She's like, no, like you're gonna finish high school, you're gonna get your diploma. And now that I like finished high school, I'm like, why was I not trying to finish? Like I'm crazy. But yeah, so I ended up working on myself, and then that's when I started getting introduced to healthier foods and alternatives and things that I can do to like be healthy and not go on a diet, but kind of turn my health into a lifestyle. So I started learning about that, and I started to lose a lot of weight, and I was happy with the weight that I was losing. I know there was people that were hating on it. I know there was people that were judging me, but I was so happy with the weight that I was losing, because like that's who I wanted to be. That was the girl that I aspired to be, and I started becoming that girl. And when I started making changes in my life and my body, that's when I started to become more aware of more things in my life. And I'm like, health isn't just about physically or what you're eating. It's also about who you're around, what you're watching on TV. So I kind of started to notice things like, when somebody made me uncomfortable with the way that they were talking, and like, people around me a lot of people, like, they tend to talk like, oh, I'm that bitch, I'm this, and like I noticed that like that kind of stuff started to like make me feel a little weird. But I also talk like that, so I'm like, why do I feel this way? Like, I don't want to be a hypocrite either. But I'm like, you know what, it's just change, and change isn't bad. Change doesn't mean you're being a hypocrite. It doesn't mean that, oh, you're too good for that lifestyle, or you're too good to be like somebody else. No, I changed because I wanted to change. I don't care that people talk like that. I don't care that people eat the way that they eat. That's not my issue. But if I can change that within myself and I want to be better, I'm going to do it, you know, and I'm going to speak on what I'm doing, and I'm going to be proud of what I'm doing. And I realized that when I started changing who I was around, I started changing my eating habits, I started working out, I started just writing more, doing all these things for myself. That's when I realized that I wasn't just clearing my physical health, I was clearing my mental health. I was clearing my consciousness. And clearing my consciousness started to allow me to see things differently. And I started wanting to learn more. And so I started to really acknowledge that knowledge is power. And so I started studying more about, you know, life and the law of attraction and becoming the better you. And I started becoming introduced to all these things, and so was my partner at the time. And I remember like her going to work and me just studying and studying and studying, and she'd come home from work and I'd just like tell her everything about myself, and you know, why I'm like this, or why this, or you know, what we could do to better ourselves, and meditation and all those beautiful things. I had stopped eating meat, and I didn't realize that being vegan or being vegetarian, it wasn't just a diet, it was a lifestyle. And with becoming healthier meant becoming healthier overall, not just in one area of your life. So yeah, I stopped eating meat, and my DNA felt a lot clearer. And that's because I wasn't consuming other energies. I wasn't consuming other energies like animals and things like that. Because when we eat an animal, we don't always think about this stuff. I didn't think about it at all. Is that we're literally eating every part of that animal, not just their flesh, right? We're eating the trauma that they had to go through, the loss, like being taken away from their family, from their home, to be put in farms. Like, animals feel things, they have feelings as well. So they feel those things, they feel those changes, they're scared. So you're eating all that, you know, fear and torture. And then on top of that, you're eating all the things that they're injecting into that animal, those hormones, all of those, you know, things that affect your mood, that affect your growth, that affect, you know, a lot of part of you. And so I started like learning about that and learning about animals. And I was like, all right, like, obviously this is not what I want to do. And so when I stopped eating animals, basically, I started to be more aware of what I put in my body, and I started to feel things. And so now it gets to a point where like I eat something and I know when that food isn't clean. And it's because we all can do this, right? If we're constantly eating dirty food all the time, and that's all we know. And so when we start eating clean food all the time, we start to feel a difference in our body. So when we go back to that dirty food, it's like, damn. So yeah, I stopped eating fast food after that. I stopped drinking soda. I started just becoming better. And I feel like my first spiritual awakening was more so health-wise, and mental health and physical health, and cutting toxic people off. But yeah, I started making all of these changes in my life because I'm like, if there's no change in my life, there's no evolution. If I don't start with one area, how do I expect to get better in certain things that I want for myself, right? Like, I used to be somebody who was insecure, who suffered from social anxiety, who was afraid to just be myself. And look at me now, on here making a video for y'all, talking like nothing. And I know it's different because it's not like I'm around people, but I do give myself the opportunity now to be around people, to share my knowledge, to share what I know. And yeah, I feel like I just started to get more in touch with knowledge and wanted to learn about myself and about life. And I'm like, how do I expect myself to experience life in this vessel if I'm not changing, if I'm not learning, if I'm not evolving? And so yeah, that's when my mindset just became clearer, and I started to think better about myself. I started to be more aware of the things that I was doing for myself. And so it wasn't until 2021 that something happened with me and my relationship, the person that I was with and the person that I was growing with. And that kind of forced me to kind of have to, ooh, that was a big bug. That kind of forced me to have to kind of continue my journey on my own. And this spiritual awakening that I had to go through was more about finding myself. And that's kind of where I am right now in my life, is finding myself. And it's not just about what I eat, what I'm doing. No, it's about finding where my triggers come from, finding like how can I speak to people in a better way, because I know that when I was in that lifestyle where I was eating junk and where, you know, I was consuming all of those animals, I consumed a lot of emotions, a lot of anger, a lot of sadness, a lot of depression, anxiety, and that just became who I was. And I just programmed myself to just be this person that I didn't even recognize. And so I think that now I'm in a place where I'm finding myself and I'm learning to be respectful to myself and my time, and be respectful towards other people and have those boundaries as well. And honestly, I love this for me, because this is the time where now I'm connecting more with my spirit guides and my ancestors, and I'm breaking cycles, and I'm not tolerating things anymore. I'm not allowing people to walk all over me. I'm not allowing people to get in my way and make me feel insecure or make me feel like I can't be successful with myself. So I think now is the time that I'm taking everything that I learned in 2019, 2020, and I'm implementing all that knowledge in my life now, and I'm actually experiencing it now. So I know that this is now a second spiritual awakening, and this is more about spreading my knowledge and spreading telling my story in the best way that I can, through a place of love and not through hate, not through blaming anybody else for why my relationships didn't work out. Like, I know that whatever relationships haven't worked out for me right now is because they weren't meant to be with me. Those people that are not in my life anymore, they're not meant to be in my life, because there's people that really do not understand the changes that you go through. And it took me a long time to accept that I can explain myself, I can speak till my face turns blue, I can, you know, say whatever it is, but if that person isn't committed or isn't able to accept and understand why I changed, they're never going to understand me, and therefore they do not resonate with me. They do not deserve to be in my life. So now I'm at a place where I'm learning to be comfortable on my own. I'm learning to be more independent and spend time with myself, and that's why I'm out here. I like to be by myself, and that's just simply because I've developed so much change, and I feel like I am the only person on this earth that understands me the way that I understand me. I'm the only person on this earth that can make myself feel better when I'm going through stuff. It came to a point where I don't talk about my problems to anybody, because I know that I could simply just write, or I can meditate, or I can talk to the universe, and everything's gonna work out, because everything always works out in my favor. So yeah, right now I'm just at a place where I'm connecting more with spirit, and I'm trusting myself, and I'm manifesting a great life for me. And I've learned how to manifest. I've learned to kind of get the universe to work through me and for me in the best ways possible, so I can live a best life and not worry about other people and what people have done towards me, because people in my past have done me really wrong, and I'm not going to sit here and dwell on that and be upset about that. I want to move on from that and kind of be here now and be happy with what I have and what I'm doing, because I know that there's a whole life in front of me. And I just feel like if I didn't go through that awakening that I went through with myself and distancing myself from my family and all that, I've made videos about that before as well. That kind of has to do with this second spiritual awakening, kind of finding yourself, finding your voice, learning to say no to people. So that's where I am now in my life, just this spiritual awakening, and yeah, just still doing me. And I just wanted to talk to you guys about it and kind of just share and say that, like, if you are somebody that wants to go through a spiritual awakening, wants to get more into spiritual practices, learning about yourself, meditation, like, just know that it comes with a lot, and that you are gonna miss out on a lot of things. You are gonna lose a lot of people, but you don't necessarily lose them. Don't think about it like that. They losing you, actually. They're losing you, and that's because they're not at that level that you are, where they're willing to change, they're willing to understand you, they're willing to support you, and that's their loss. It's not yours, because when you're up there and you're in a place where you're happier with your life, those people who doubted you and who didn't want to support you, they're going to be stuck feeling miserable about themselves for the rest of their lives. Who knows, maybe they'll find themselves, but it's not always the case. So definitely, if you're thinking about it, just know that it comes with a lot, and you definitely have to know what you're doing. You have to really take in knowledge, and not just listen to what I'm saying, not just listen to what other people are saying, but experience it. you know, experience it yourself. Don't go vegan because somebody else told you to go vegan, because I'm saying vegan is a good way to be, or it's a good lifestyle. Be vegan because you could feel the difference within yourself. Or don't stop talking to your family because I did it, or because somebody told you these are your signs of a toxic family. No, distance yourself from your family or from people because you feel a difference when you're away from them or when you're around them. Do things from experience, not from what other people are telling you and saying. And I think that that's what I missed. Uy, her bug just bit me. I think that that's where I messed up when I had my first awakening, is I kind of just took information and stuck with it without actually experiencing for myself and, you know, understanding the difference in my body or understanding the difference in my mind or the way that I think. And so now I'm at a place where I am aware of those things and I'm actually experiencing a better spiritual awakening. And it's not full of sadness and hurt and pain and insecurity. No, it's full of love and bliss and harmony. And I love this for me and I want this for everybody. And so that's pretty much where I've been at. That's also why I haven't been filming, because I've been so focused on healing myself, and not just my inner child, but my inner teen, and just kind of going to my adulthood, understanding myself. So that's pretty much where I am now, and that's why I am the way that I am, and that's why I'm so different. And I love this for me, and I just feel like those that want to support me will support me, and those that don't. So yeah, thank you for listening to my story time. Thank you for listening to pretty much how it all started and how I just feel so much better about myself. I love you guys. Thank you guys for watching this video and actually taking the time to listen to me. So yeah, I'm gonna take a nap and relax, and I will see you guys in the next video. Mwah!